www.shanatv.com और radiobulaMasti.com पर प्रोग्राम को आप देख सकते हैं और सुन भी सकते हैं। तो चले एक छोटी सी संदेश हो जाए और उसके बाद स्टूडियोज में आज हमारे कोई बहुत ही खास मेहमान आए हैं, ज़रूर इनसे बातें होंगी।
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
VK Auto Detailing, leaving your vehicle spotless and shiny. VK Auto Detailing specializes in interior and exterior hand wash and dry, vacuum and shampoo, cloth or leather seats, door panels, console compartments, dashboards, mats, cleaning your vehicle inside out, floor to the roof. Don't delay, call VK Auto Detailing now. Contracts also available for dealerships or individual. Contact Vinita Reddy at 604-300-5095 or Bobby at 604-300-7204. VK Auto Detailing, servicing clients for many years in the Lower Mainland, British Columbia.
Hello, this is Mandeep with Bula Kava Distributors. We import fresh kava from Fiji to Canada and distribute it to your doorstep anywhere in the world, Canada, internationally. From 112 gram bags, 224 gram bags to 448 gram bags, and new merchandise coming as well too. Tanawas, Sulus, Billows, everything Fiji. For all your fresh kava needs, visit bulakava.ca. bulakava.ca.
एक बार फिर से हम आप सभी को स्वागत करते हैं। warm welcome on shanatv.com and Radio Bula Masti. I am your host Aisha and हमारे साथ है Mr. Rizwaan Abbas from Surrey, living here locally, and his parents are originally from Fiji Islands. Welcome Rizwaan, how are you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing well. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here with Bula Masti. Thanks for the time and giving me the opportunity to speak about the exhibit.
All right, so you mentioned the word exhibit. So we'll talk a little bit about you first, and then we'll carry on to what adventure you are going to have. And so your parents are originally from Fiji. You are born and raised here in Canada.
Yeah.
You are an archaeologist as well?
That's right. Yeah.
All right. So let's tell our people what archaeologist is all about, first of all, and then we'll go on further.
Sure. Well, in my profession in archaeology, it's the study of past cultures through their material remains. So whatever has been left behind from the people, we will dig them up, study and analyze not just the artifacts, but the context in which they were found, and try to identify better the lifestyle of the people that lived back then. A lot of the stuff that we do here in North America, and it can be as old as about 10,000 years old, anywhere from 10,000 to 300 years old archaeologically. Of course, there's artifacts you'll find historically as well that could be up to World War I. But yeah, I mean, we have a great history in North America, but it's very small compared to the rest of the world.
Did I hear you say human remains, animal remains?
Human. Well, not just the human remains, but their material that they leave over as well. Actually, I did do my master's is on human evolution, so I studied human remains. Yeah.
All right. So right there, I know I have to bring you in and talk about that some more. But right now, we will talk about the event that's coming up, right? But that's a very good topic. It's very interesting. I would definitely love to have you back and talk about what you do. Archaeologist.
Yeah, I don't get the opportunity to talk about it very often, so I'd love to. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Here's your platform. We just found another opportunity before we could get started on today's topic. So the main reason Mr. Rizwaan Abbas is here today is to talk about a museum exhibition that's happening here right now. It started today.
Yeah.
So what is this museum exhibition about?
Well, I grew up in the East Kootenays in southeast British Columbia, in a place called Sparwood, a small mining town.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
As a matter of fact, my dad was a coal miner for about 20 years there in Sparwood, and he was the first South Asian to drive the Terex Titan, which at the time was the largest dump truck in the world.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
If you ever drive by Sparwood now, the dump truck is actually a tourist
really?
attraction, so it's on the side of the highway. You can take a look at it.
Nice. Interesting. Send me some pictures next time you go out that way.
For sure.
Or if you have any. All right. So.
Yeah. So I moved to Surrey in 1993, And before that, in Sparwood, we had a very small Indo-Fijian community. And as far as the Muslim Indo-Fijians were concerned, it was just my family. It was all that there was. When we moved to Sparwood, when we moved to Surrey from Sparwood in 1993, I came here to Surrey, and I had a very large extended family, of course, and I got to see the culture in its full bloom in a way that I had never seen it before. And as a 15-year-old, it made an impression on me to see the weddings, the religious festivities, the food, the language.
Here in Surrey, after you moved from Sparwood.
Yes, yeah, here in Surrey. I mean, we had I got to interact with people, with Hindustani people that I'd never had the opportunity to do before, and it always stuck with me. I always got to appreciate my culture from the outside, and I think that's one of the reasons I became an archaeologist, to study culture in the first place, was because I was curious about my own. And in the past about 20 years of living here, I've come to see that the Indo-Canadian community has really established themselves as a community, as a culture, and a group. And when I moved here first, there was no such thing as an Indo-Canadian, and now there is. And I'm coming to realize that the Indo-Fijian community, Hamlonki community, that we don't have this togetherness and this idea of a culture. So this is the reason why I wanted to do this exhibit, was I wanted to show not just our own people, but the citizens of Surrey and the Lower Mainland as well, that there's an Indo-Fijian culture here, and not only is it a large culture, it's a very flourishing one as well.
So are you telling me that there is the Indo-Fiji community here, but it's the culture that we're lacking?
Well, no, it's not. There is an Indo-Fijian community here. It's just that not everyone, not even us ourselves, are able to identify our own culture. Whenever people talk about Hindustanis, for example, I hear people call us the Fijis, the Fiji people. There's so many different terminologies. Just a simple thing of identifying one term, Indo-Fijian, for example, somebody from Fiji with a descent from India, is just kind of groups us in puts us on the same page. I mean, in our own language, of course, we identify ourselves as Hindustani, but what about within the culture? What do other people call us? So that's one of the reasons I'm doing this, is to try to identify how to self-identify ourselves, but also to identify aspects of the culture, just in case people take it for granted. I mean, I know my dad, for example, used to love qawwalis, and he used to listen to them all the time. And now, 20, 30 years removed, when I look at his cassette collection, I realize that this collection of cassettes from the 70s and 80s is actually a very significant cultural piece. And the music in it doesn't just represent the singers, it also represents our culture. It represents the time that they were singing. It has a lot of information.
A lot of feelings and information in it, right?
Yes.
It's got a lot of feelings for sure. Yes, and it is sad to see that some of that culture is fading away, especially with the younger generation as well. But you know what? The world is moving so fast. It is sometimes hard to kind of stay focused because of how fast everything is moving, growing. Technology, for example, I think it's the worst thing that's pulling us away from our culture, because we are all drowned in technology. Right? So let's go back and talk about this event that's happening. And that this event is happening now. It started today.
Yes, today was the opening day for the
And
exhibition.
where is this event happening? Because sometimes I find that in our talks, we kind of lose what's happening and where. So let's focus on that again. This event is happening now. It started today. How long is this event for?
This event will run for 3 months. It starts today and it will run until December 18th, 2021.
And where is this event happening?
It's at the Museum of Surrey, just on 1771056A Avenue here in Cloverdale.
Oh, it's right down the street from us.
Right down the street, yeah.
Oh, okay. So museum in Surrey, right on 56 and sorry, what's that? 177?
Yeah, 177.
Okay. So I do have to come out.
Yes, you do. Yeah.
It's in my neighborhood. So once again, this event now, what is expected? So when we go into this museum, and I've been walking down that street. I've walked down and I've been walking down that street. but never even thought of going inside to check it out. So this is a good excuse for me. So when I go into this museum that's located on Highway 10 and 177, what am I to expect in there?
Well, the exhibit is located in the Community Treasures Hall, which is in the back of the museum upstairs. It's not a very big exhibit. It's just a little one in the corner, but it has all the information that we need to portray all the information that we want. While I'm discussing the exhibits at the Surrey Museum, they are opening up a new bees exhibit there as well next week. So the main hall will have a new exhibition as well.
Okay, so when we go to that museum, there's going to be information, there's going to be people, there's going to be certain cultural product there as well.
Yeah. Well, when you mean like what's the exhibit?
What should I? Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Well, the exhibit is broken down into 3 parts. The first part of the exhibit is about the history of the Indo-Fijian people, of our history. It talks about how our ancestors, our great-grandparents, our grandparents moved from India to Fiji, and then the circumstances surrounding Gurmit and how they became Gurmitias. And then the second part is about the unique cultural aspects of Indo-Fijian culture. So I kind of talk a little bit, go into detail about our language, our food, our clothing, for example, things of that nature, just to kind of identify what makes us different from the greater Indo-Canadian or Surrey community.
I think it's a very good event because quite often I've been asked, like, Fiji? Where is Fiji?
Yeah.
You know, some people know by going on vacations to Fiji, but a lot of people, especially from India, they don't know where Fiji is and what Fiji is all about.
That's right. I know a lot of people who didn't even realize that Fiji was a tropical island.
That's right. Yes. Yep. So I guess this is a good way to find out. And go to, if I can get the full address of the place would be
sure.
great.
It's 17710 56th Avenue.
56th Avenue. Okay. All right. So 17710 56th Avenue Museum in Surrey, right on Highway 10. So check it out. And and it's open as of today. And this exhibit is going to be going on for 3 months. And what are the hours and who all can go? I know with COVID restrictions, how are things going to work out?
Well, the best thing to do is to check the Museum of Surrey website. That's www.surrey.ca/museum for the most up-to-date protocols for COVID. But at the moment, the museum, I believe, is open from Wednesday to Sunday. And Monday, Tuesday they're closed.
So Monday, Tuesday, the museum is closed, but Wednesday till Sunday, you can go in and visit the place. You don't have to make appointments. There's no fees to go in.
No, the admission is free at the Surrey Museum.
Okay, all right. So it's free admission. And do you know the hours?
The hours at the moment, I believe, are 9:30 till 4:30. On Wednesday to Saturday, and then Sunday it's 12 till 5. That might change though, so I do suggest to check the website before you head out.
Okay, all right. And if you need some help, I know हमारे कुछ seniors हैं जिनको उतना शायद वेबसाइट के बारे में नहीं पता, तो अगर आप जाना चाहते हैं ये म्यूज़ियम जो 177 और 56 एवेन्यू पर है, हाईवे 10 और 177 पर, यहाँ पर फ़िजी के बारे में जानकारी आपको मिलेगा, कल्चर के बारे में हमारे पता चलेगा. तो अगर आप जाकर देखना चाहते हैं, सुनना चाहते हैं और देखना चाहते हैं यहाँ पर क्या हो रहा है, गुड टाइम टू गो विजिट अ म्यूज़ियम. ये फ्री है और आज से ये ओपन हुआ है और 3 मंथ्स के लिए ये चलता रहेगा. एंड आप वेडनेसडे से लेकर संडे तक के बीच में आप जा सकते हैं बिटवीन 9:30 एंड 4:30. संडेज को आवर्स लिमिटेड है, 12 बजे से कुछ 4 बजे तक, 5 बजे तक. तो आप जाकर यहाँ पर घूम सकते हैं, थोड़ा आउटिंग हो जाएगा. मास्क ज़रूर अपना लेकर जाइए. एंड अगर आप इसके बारे में और जानकारी चाहते हैं, जब आप जा रहे हैं आप हमें कॉल कर सकते हैं. हम बिल्कुल आपको कोशिश करेंगे मदद करने में, एड्रेस में या तो कहाँ पर कैसे जाए. तो अगर यहाँ पर आप गए हैं बिल्डिंग के अंदर, सो गो टू द कम्युनिटी ट्रेजर्स हॉल. Right, I got that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Community Treasures Hall में जाइए और वहाँ पर जाकर आप ये एग्जीबिशन जो है इसको एक्सपीरियंस कर सकते हैं. Address is 17710 56th Avenue, Surrey. And what else is there that you would like to share with our listeners and our viewers?
Well, just wanted to talk a little bit more about the exhibit. The exhibit is not just about the Indo-Fijian community, our community, but it's also a story about my dad. My dad passed away from cancer in December, 9 months ago.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Thanks. It was pretty.
What's your
quick.
dad's name? Because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get question. What's your dad's
Muhammad Abbas
name? Muhammad Abbas.
from Balata. And he passed away. And while he was in the hospital, we had an opportunity to talk and chat about archaeology and talk about what it is that I do. And while we were having this conversation, I came to the realization that while I'm studying First Nations, I should be studying my own culture, my own history, my father's culture and history.
Exactly.
So what this exhibit is about is it's about the Indo-Fijian culture, but it's also about a story about my dad. A lot of the artifacts that are on there are my dad's stuff that kind of flushes out the story. He's an immigrant from Fiji, just like a lot of the people that are here, a lot of our Indo-Fijian community, and his story is very similar, I think, to everybody else's is here. So through his story, I'm trying to tell the story of all of our people as well.
What year did he come out here to Canada?
He came out in 1973.
All right. Wow. Yeah. Okay. And I'm very, very sorry to hear the loss of your dad. You know, it is not easy. Allah grant him Jannah.
Amen.
And once again, I'm so happy to hear that he, you're carrying your dad's name, and you're proud of his accomplishments. And once again, let's keep him in our prayers. I know my father-in-law came to Canada when he was in the mid 70s. And some of the stories I hear from him, what they went through, being the only Fijians here or the Indians here, very small amount of Indian community, the discrimination and all that they went through. We've got right now, we've got the luxury compared to what they went through.
That's
so.
Right. And the whole story, like our generation, I'm a first generation Canadian, but our immigrant generation of Indo-Fijians that are here are not very different than the Gurmithias who came from India in the first place. There was a lot of discrimination. There was a lot of not being in a place that wasn't their own home. And there's the ideas of characteristics of resiliency, of hard work and work ethic are things that transcend. It's part of who we are as Indo-Fijians, whether it was our Gurmithia ancestors or whether it was our parents that were doing it. And it's just up to us to make sure that we teach these to our children, teach these values to our children, teach them about our culture and our history, so that we don't forget. You had mentioned earlier that technology is making us go further so much faster, and it is. But if we don't remember what it is that we did in our history, how the sacrifices that our ancestors made for us to be here in Canada, then we can't appreciate where we will be going in the future.
That's for sure. That's definitely for sure. Well, Rizwaan, thank you very much for sharing all this information and coming out to the Bulamaste studio.
You're welcome. Thank you.
We will replay this little interview later on in the days as well, because this event is going on for 3 months. Good to see that we have enough time and lots of time to go and visit. It's not just over in a week or so. And I know with COVID restrictions, it's a little bit harder. So this gives us enough time to go at our own luxury. So what are your future plans for this exhibition?
Well, I actually got a phone call about 6-7 months ago from the University, the Fraser Valley, and they had asked me to write a chapter about the Indo-Fijian culture for an upcoming social history book that they're writing about South Asians in British Columbia. So keep an eye out for that. Probably in the new year, early in 2022, there will be a new book out, and in the chapter that I write about the Indo-Fijian community, what I'll be doing is going more into detail about the exhibit. The exhibit is kind of like an introduction for everybody, but the book itself, or the chapter from the book, will be more in detail about some of the issues that we were talking about, or that we touch on in the exhibit.
All right, well, that's great, and I wish you all the best and all the success. And just remember that Radio Bulamaste is here for you, for our community, and now we are on online TV channel as well. So when we do go out, we'll probably take some videos and bring it out for our viewers as well, and show it around to our fans here. Once again, if there are other future events, let us know and we will broadcast it for you.
Thank you. Is it okay if I just quickly say hello to a few people?
No.
Yeah?
No, I'm just kidding.
I just wanted to say hi to my wife Rubina, my kids, my mom, my brother, my family. There's a lot of people watching from New Zealand, Australia, California, UK, Calgary, Edmonton, Fiji. Whoever's watching, I just want to say hello. Thank you very much for tuning in.
Well, good to hear you mentioned all those names. This video is also on Facebook, and it will be also on YouTube. So you can go and share the videos and, get your family and friends to come out and support as well.
Yes,
right?
definitely.
Awesome. Well, Rizwaan, thank you so much. And we'll bring you back here for sure. There's a few topics that you mentioned. See, you don't know where one step in your life can lead you, right? So just by talking about this museum and this exhibition, I found out that you're an archaeologist, and it will be good to have you here and talk about some of your adventures. I love adventure. I love challenge. So it would be nice to hear from you and also give some insights of what you guys go through that we don't see, right? So we'll bring you back for that, and also we want to talk some more about how this exhibition went. We'll do a follow-up.
That sounds like a great idea. Thank you.
And also we want to promote our culture, and people that don't know what Fiji is, where it is, how it originated, the Gurmit days and all that. I would love to bring you back, or if you know someone that would love to talk about the Gurmit days, we want to bring them on and share those stories with our fans.
That sounds like a great idea, Aisha. Any opportunity to spread knowledge about our history is always appreciated.
Awesome. Excited and a pleasure meeting you.
Thank you.
And we'll stay in touch. Thank you very much for listening to Radio Bula Masti. I'm your host Aisha, and special guest in the studio today, Mr. Rizwaan Abbas, speaking about the museum exhibition that is being held from now. Today is September the 15th, and it will go on for 3 months. Address of this museum is 17710 56th Avenue, and this is in Surrey, British Columbia.